You anywhere you want to go.
10-4, Ken Brew.
On the big one, 700 WLW.
A good day starts with a good morning. Here's Oscar, a high school history teacher. But before he fills his students' heads with a Bill of Rights, he exercises his own right to a morning with Mike McConnell.
Hello, good morning.
Mike gives Oscar the latest news, weather, traffic, sports, and always a couple of laughs. That's why Oscar gives Mike an A+.
Mike McConnell. Tomorrow morning at 5 on 700 WLW.
The showdown of the summer. You versus your son-in-law in the battle of the lawns. And you've guaranteed a win with the Weed Man Lawn Care.
What's going on with your lawn?
I started using a new fertilizer.
Is that right? And that right there is the difference between a DIY lawn and a Weed Man lawn.
Yeah. For the money and time I wasted, I should have gone with Weed Man in the first place.
Take back your time and money. Go to weedman.com today for 50% off your first application. That's weedman.com.
Nice putt. Hey, can you guys play again tomorrow?
I haven't even had time to even trim my lawn this year.
My lawn's actually getting fertilized at this moment. I just got a notification. They just did my application, and they shut the gate.
How are you both finding the time to treat your lawn?
We don't. We use Lawn Plus.
At Lawn Plus, we understand your time is valuable. There is just not enough time in the day between attending your kids' games, school events, or just trying to get in a round of golf. Lawn Plus knows what it takes for a thick, healthy turf. Contact us today, and remember, if you give a weed an inch, it'll take a yard.
Call 513-771-LAWN today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Are you already feeling overwhelmed with your long list of places to clean in your home? Get your spring cleaning done now. You can enjoy the warm weather ahead and let Zerorez do the work for you. No one can clean like Zerorez because only Zerorez cleans with patented electrolyzed water, no soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue. Get rid of all the dirt and grime this winter brought to your home. Keep your family healthy and make your carpet happy again. Take advantage of low prices and book now before they start getting really busy. It's proven by science. A patented zero water technology cleaning process, no harsh chemicals. That's what you're going to get when you call Zerorez, plus your carpets and other services stay cleaner much longer. Don't take my word for it. How about 2,000 reviews with a 4.9 star rating? Check out the spring cleaning sale now going on right now. 3 rooms of carpet clean, just $129. Plus, when you mention me, Bill Cunningham, you get a hallway clean for free. Easily schedule online, ZerorezCincy.com, ZerorezCincy.com. Spell it backwards or forwards. Believe me, it's the right way to clean.
Attention neuropathy sufferers. Amazing research has now shown that neuropathy symptoms can be reversed. One patient, Andrew, had constant burning and painful feet. But after just 2 treatments, he had a 50% improvement in his symptoms. He was able to sleep through the night and regain sensation. He now walks better, has improved balance, and has reduced his neuropathy medications. So call Elite Physical Medicine at 513-866-7300 to reverse your neuropathy without prescriptions or addictive medications. Left untreated, neuropathy can lead to foot, toe, or leg amputation. So don't wait. Call Elite Physical Medicine at 513-866-7300. The first 25 callers will receive a full exam and an in-depth consultation absolutely free. That's 513-866-7300.
Cindy Abrams is the real deal. Abrams is a former Cincinnati police officer now fighting for us in the State House. Abrams went to the border and created legislation to stop the flow of drugs into Ohio. Abrams voted to ban gender surgeries on kids and supported historic tax cuts for workers. Cindy Abrams is an America First conservative. That's why she's endorsed by the NRA, Ohio Fraternal Order of Police, and Senator J.D. Vance. Vote Cindy Abrams on March 19th.
Paid for by Abrams for Ohio.
Make sure your home is spring ready by tossing out your old junk with driveway dumpsters. Homeowner, remodeler, DIYer, it doesn't matter, we've got the dumpster for you. If you haven't used it in a year, it's time to go. Call Driveway Dumpsters at 513-600-2637.
Your driver's seat awaits at the Cincinnati Auto Expo. Join us Thursday through Sunday, March 14th through 17th at Duke Energy Convention Center. It's tons of family fun. Visit CincinnatiAutoExpo.com for tickets.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
If you're in the market for a new Rolex and if you've done any research, you'll know that it's very challenging to find anything available.
That's Robert Woodson, General Manager at Genesis Diamonds. He's got some great news for frustrated premium watch buyers. Genesis Diamonds now has over 200 luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in stock.
You can't go anywhere in the tri-state area and see any collection of Rolexes like Genesis Diamonds has in stock. People come in and they're absolutely blown away by the selection.
These are hand-selected pre-owned Rolexes in pristine condition. All the top-selling models for both gentlemen and ladies.
The watches that we've selected for our stores are the most popular models, stuff that you can't get anywhere else. Root beers, Submariners, Hulks, Pepsis, Batmans, Batgirls, all of the selection that everyone talks about but no one has.
And at Genesis Diamonds, there are no rules. These luxury pre-owned Rolexes are first come, first served.
You don't have to wait on it, you don't have to be on a list, and you don't have to be a previous customer.
Come find your luxury pre-owned Rolex today and enjoy zero interest financing up to 60 months exclusively at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
The boundlessly capable all-electric EQS SUV from Mercedes-Benz with available transparent hood technology. So advanced, it can see through sheet metal. The vehicle's all electric. The feeling is all Mercedes. Learn more at MBUSA.com/EQS-SUV.
Live from the 700 WLW studios. Driven by Mike Castrucci Ford in Milford and Alexandria. Check out the Tri-State's largest inventory of brand new Ford Broncos, Super Duty, and Ford Mustang at MikeCastrucciFord.com. That's Mike Castrucci Ford.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
You're listening to 700 WLW. Also available on 94.5 FM W233BG Cincinnati.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
A teacher at a Catholic high school fired. This is the 3 o'clock report. I'm Matt Reese. Breaking now. A social studies teacher at a Catholic school in the Springfield area has lost his job. No comment yet from the Archdiocese of Cincinnati on the case, which involves accusations of abuse of a student that happened several years ago.
The indictment came down in Clark County on Tuesday. 62-year-old Michael McKenna, a social studies teacher at Catholic Central High in Springfield, charged with half a dozen counts of sexual battery from 2017 to 2018 when that alleged victim was a student. McKenna has been fired from his job, and the president of Catholic Central High has put out a statement asking people to keep everyone involved in their prayers. I'm Jack Crumley. News Radio 700 WLW.
And we get a look at the roads now, the latest traffic and weather together.
From the UC Health Traffic Center, UC Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UC Bearcats. And we have Norwood lateral westbound before 75, left lane blocked with an accident. We're stop and go from right around Reading Road, and police are on the scene. Breakdown on the ramp to 75 westbound, the ramp to 5 Mile Road. It's off on the right-hand side. We're seeing slowdowns on 75 northbound, Mitchell to town, about a 5-minute delay, and 75 southbound filling in from Western Avenue down to the Brent Spence Bridge. That's about a 5-minute slowdown as well. And again, we're going to see the heavier traffic along 71, also Fort Washington Way and Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway due to the work on eastbound Norwood lateral between 75 and 71. I'm Rick Schremp, News Radio 700 WLW.
Now Now, the latest forecast from the Advanced Dentistry Weather Center. Advanced Dentistry, the judgment-free dental experience you've been looking for. NoFearDentist.com.
A gorgeous afternoon in store. Temperatures into the low 70s. Winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 miles per hour. And a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. A very nice mid-March day. And as we head on into the overnight tonight, we hold on to that warmth. A few more clouds overnight tonight. We drop down to 52 with winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour. And as we progress into your Thursday, a few more clouds and a lot more wind. Winds gusting to 30. We'll stay warm 73 with an isolated storm chance. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Brandon Spinner, News Radio 700 WLW.
The temperature right now 71 degrees in Cincinnati. The Hamilton County prosecutor says psychological testing of the 14-year-old boy accused of plotting to attack Marymount High School is not complete yet.
Today, the Marymount juvenile was in court for pretrial. And there was a competency evaluation requested previously. I believe the report was due today. That has not been completed. It's my understanding they need more time, and that's not unusual because of caseload for the psychologist that does the evaluation. So you'll see probably another court date in 2 weeks.
Prosecutor Melissa Powers, who was at Seton High School earlier today, speaking to a regional school security summit hosted by Seton. Powers calling for increased awareness of swatting, the phony calls for emergency help that she says total more than 1,000 a year nationwide, seen here locally, like in the fall of 2022, targeting multiple local high schools, including Seton. Prosecutor Powers also urging people to tell teens in your life to think before they post on social media and think before they make a threat against a school and the people in it. 4th of July fireworks at Alt Park canceled. Too many attendees. Part of the reason City of Cincinnati says size just reached a breaking point. Big cutback by a discount retailer. No word yet whether any of those Dollar Tree stores in the Cincinnati area are going to be included in plans to close hundreds across the country.
In its fourth quarter earnings report, Dollar Tree announced plans to shut down about 1,000 stores over the next few years, including closing 600 stores by this summer. Dollar Tree's earnings in the last quarter of 2023 were hit hard by about $2 billion in charges tied to a review of the company's portfolio of stores, and the closure announcement hasn't helped, sinking Dollar Tree's stock price by 14%. The company's CEO says Dollar Tree will fast-track plans to sell more products at different prices while focusing on boosting the sister brand Family Dollar. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Don Lemon says his contract with Elon Musk for a new show on X is over. Former CNN host recorded an interview with Musk for the show's rollout planned for next week. Lemon now saying on X that Musk was not happy with the interview and canceled it. But Lemon says he still plans to publish the interview this coming Monday on X and on YouTube. Hour from the close on Wall Street. Dow's up 65. SP 500 is down 4. And the NASDAQ is down by 52 points. Here's the segment.
700 WLW. Sports.
College basketball, it's a tournament doubleheader today here on 700 WLW. First in New York City and opening round action of the Big East tournament with Xavier and Butler at 3:30. Then his second round play from Kansas City in the Big 12 with Cincinnati up against Kansas at 9 p.m. High school news for a second year in a row. Purcell Marion star D. Alexander has been named the Ohio Miss Basketball for 2024. Winton Woods forward Tyler McKinley is a finalist for Ohio Mr. Basketball honor. Reds update. Opening day starter Frankie Montas starts for the Reds today as they meet the Giants. Coverage at 3:35 with the R&L Carriers Inside Pitch on Fox Sports 1360. Bill Dennison, 700 WLW Sports.
Back with your next update at 3:30. Matt Reese, News Radio 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored by Visit Fort Myers.
Explore art and culture throughout the islands, beaches, and neighborhoods of Fort Myers. Discover historic landmarks, browse art galleries, and enjoy live theater performances. Direct flights arrive daily from Cincinnati. Plan your trip at visitfortmyers.com.
We, the people, will not accept the unacceptable, and the situation on the U.S. southern border is unacceptable. Biden, your days are numbered as a politician, along with the rest of the Democrats, for pushing these garbage immigration policies on us. Start enforcing our immigration laws now. As a private citizen, I demand it. In Congress, I will vote for it. I'm Tom Wong, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Tom for Ohio.
The Dwyer Company, the only name you need to know for waterproofing, foundation repair, and concrete lifting. Call the professionals at Dwyer today at 513-777-0998 or visit thedwyercompany.com. The Dwyer Company, the only name you need to know.
Governor DeWine wants us to remember him as a leader who created a bright future for Ohio's families, but look closer at the future he's creating.
Unsafe staffing levels in state agencies, prisons, and mental hospitals.
Low wages for our dedicated public employees.
Long wait times for essential services that Ohioans need.
Hoarding billions in a rainy day fund that could be spent to help Ohioans now.
Governor DeWine is failing Ohio.
Remind Governor DeWine his legacy will be how he treats us. It's time to give state employees what Ohioans need.
Paid for by SEIU District 1199.
If you have uneven or sunken concrete on your sidewalk, driveway, patio, or pool deck, call A1 Concrete Leveling to lift and level that concrete for a fraction of the cost of replacement. Work is guaranteed. 513-283-4560, A1 Concrete Leveling.
All rise. In a Massachusetts courtroom, the judge concluded that the defendant shredded evidence in the case. The defendant, Bernie Marino, who was sued for stealing his employees' pay. So before the trial, Marino shredded the evidence against him. Shadiness is a pattern with Marino, who quietly supported amnesty for millions of illegals, but now pretends otherwise. You can tell a lot about someone's character by what he does when no one's watching. Bernie Marino flunks that test. And Secretary of State Frank LaRose is no better. LaRose quietly spent your tax dollars to benefit himself politically. And LaRose changed Ohio's ballot language to affect the election results. It was a breach of public trust. Bernie Marino and Frank LaRose, if they're this sneaky and corrupt in Ohio, just imagine if they go to Washington. Buckeye Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. BuckeyesLead.org.
Cindy Abrams is the real deal. Abrams is a former Cincinnati police officer now fighting for us in the State House. Abrams went to the border and created legislation to stop the flow of drugs into Ohio. Abrams voted to ban gender surgeries on kids and supported historic tax cuts for workers. Cindy Abrams is an America First conservative. That's why she's endorsed by the NRA, Ohio Fraternal Order of Police, and Senator J.D. Vance. Vote Cindy Abrams on March 19th.
Paid for by Abrams for Ohio.
All right, back with Eddie and Rock. Man, they're wearing us out here with all this work they're doing.
That's right.
Half hour yesterday, a half hour today, man.
Quick hour show here. We got the leading into the Xavier basketball game, but at first let's talk a little Bengals because there's rumors flying. It's that fun time of the year.
Oh yeah,
free agency. Who knows what's going on? Let's check in with our good buddy Jason Williams from the Inquirer. Jason, first off, what's with what? How did the rumors of Justin Jefferson coming over to the Cincinnati Bengals? Where did that originate?
I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
I have no idea. And I know we were talking about that. I'm in the Inquirer newsroom right now, and we were talking about that in here. And it's just like, what? I have no idea. It's that crazy time of year, guys. NFL free agency and, just things just start swirling, and I don't, that definitely sounds like fans somewhere along the line, someone on Twitter maybe saying, man, it'd be so great to have Justin Jefferson with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. But
it would be great if Paul Warfield and Jim Brown were still around. That'd be cool too.
Hey, why not? Hey, let's. You know what? No, never mind Baltimore. Derrick Henry's coming here too. What else we got? Who else is out there that the Bengals can have and that you can put on that fantasy team? It sounds to me like a fantasy team. I honestly don't know.
I saw like Tyler Eifert somehow tweeted about it, and then there's some. I read something about like Joe Burrow's girlfriend works at Kroger's, and there was some just crazy connection about how, somehow and why that would indicate that Justin Jefferson was leaving the Minnesota Vikings and coming to Cincinnati. But even if that did happen,
that's what you get
those three players. Even if that did happen, those three Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, and then what they would eventually have to pay Jamar Chase, there wouldn't be any money left over for anybody. I mean, that would be it.
Right. That's exactly right. The world of the salary cap. And, I mean, man, I want to say that would be fun, but it could also, something like that could also lead to a lot of drama because last I checked, there's only one football that has been played at one time. And, you know how those things can go with when egos can get involved. And, that alone, just thinking of it that way alone, and then you throw on the actual legitimate things of the money and all that, and you're like, I don't understand how that makes any sense.
Right. Well, let's stick to the one, I guess, situation that is potentially true, and that is what's going to happen with DJ Reader. Now, he is a free agent. He's set to visit the Lions tomorrow. And usually how this thing works, especially with top-tier free agents, is if you're going to sign him, you don't want him to leave the building, because if he goes to Detroit tomorrow, they're going to probably offer him a ton of money, and his agent's going to say, we got to do the deal, and bing, boom, pow, it's over, and the Bengals miss out on DJ Reader. Do you think the Bengals can sign DJ Reader, he's 29, so he's still on the right side of 30. He's not super young, but he's not super old. Do you think the Bengals will sign DJ Reader?
I don't know if they will or not. It's funny because all off season, you really didn't hear anything about DJ Reader, and I think the general thought was like the DJ Reader. He's had that same injury 2 of the last 3 seasons, and I think the general thought around the Bengals was that DJ Reader would be somewhere else next season. And then all of a sudden, obviously, with this week coming up, and DJ Reader, he's popped up and among the top defensive tackles available, even coming off that injury, even at his age. And so, I think the Bengals see him as a secondary option to trying to get someone else. But ideally, it would be fantastic if they could get 2 defensive tackles because they need it. Whether that's possible or not, with how they're moving things around and what other money they have to spend, on the safety and an offensive tackle. Whether I don't know if that is all going to be feasible. But if he's going and visiting somewhere else, that I don't think that bodes well for. And saying that these things move fast and they change quickly and. But I don't. At this time, it seems like it doesn't bode well for him coming back here.
All right, I agree. And if he's not signed by the Bengals by this evening, then it's probably not going to happen. It's done.
That's how
to your point,
as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and to your point, I think it was kind of like, okay, Bengals will probably let DJ Reader go, and then it's like, well, the Ravens just signed Derrick Henry, so maybe we need to fortify that interior line a little bit. I think that kind of reignited the interest in him here.
Speaking of running backs, your guys' thoughts on the Mixon let go?
I got to admit to you, the Bengals, they keep things really, really quiet, and so it was. You could try to read between the lines on some things that Duke Tobin and Zach Taylor have been saying. At the Senior Bowl and the Combine, and it kind of indicated that probably his days were done. But I think it was a year too late to let him go. They should have let him go last year. Nonetheless, he's gone now. And so I think it was a year overdue. And so ultimately, I'm not surprised that that he's now finally been let go.
Yeah, it kind of went down weird because the rumor was the Bengals let him go. And then it turned out they traded him, which kind of stinks for Joe Mixon. I mean, he was here 7 years. Right. He's going to become a free agent, maybe get to pick where he wants to go and finish out the last couple years of his career. Instead, he doesn't get a choice. Now he's going to go to a pretty nice young team that made the playoffs last year and the Texans and all that. But it's a tough business, man. All that that's what players when they preach to you. You got to you should be for the team and you got to win for the team and you got to be all in on that. And then the team kind of does you like that when it's not convenient for them to make a move. And that's life in the NFL.
Well, with Mixon though, I mean, with some of the off the field issues and the fight that he picked with some reporters in the in the locker room last year before the season.
And the shooting in his backyard.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that. Right. And it's just like, okay, so you put all that stuff together, and I'll tell you, it's a weird dynamic because fans, Bengals fans, diehard Bengals fans absolutely love him. And I think they appreciate what he did, obviously helping them get to the Super Bowl. But the last 2 years he's been, so not take away the off the field stuff, he's been one of the least productive starting running backs in the NFL the last 2 years. And clearly, Brock, you talked a lot about the production, how it falls off for, NFL running backs. And, I think that seems to be the case with him. And, he took a pay cut last year to come back to Cincinnati. I think that's one of those cases where, okay, you know what? They already showed him a lot of loyalty by bringing him back last year. So by letting him go now, it's like, okay, moving on.
Let's switch gears to the Reds right quick. In your column the other day, you wrote about the Marte, the suspension, and how that might affect clubhouse culture. Explain, because I thought that was an interesting take.
Yeah, David Bell, Nick Kroll, and they really preach clubhouse culture. And this isn't just, hey, pat your teammate on the back, rah, rah. This is about being accountable to your team. Nick Kroll, when they scout players, they go through a whole process of, they talk to a lot of people, deep background, and teachers and coaches and people that are in, family members and friends that are in that player's life or through their lives, to try to find out what kind of guy is this guy? What kind of teammate is he? Is he going to be a guy who is going to, blast his teammates in the media when things go wrong, or is he going to bail and give up when things aren't going well, or is he going to be there for the team and be accountable to the team? There's really deep things there. And then Bob Castellini has bought in. When I talked to him at spring training, first thing he says to me, I said, hey, what do you like about this team? Clubhouse. That was exactly what he said, clubhouse. And that has been ingrained in this organization now. Well, when you got a guy who tests positive, gets suspended for 80 games, that's a real hit to that culture, because that's someone not being accountable to the team and not being a good teammate. And so, Noelvi Marte is seen as a good guy in the clubhouse. The guys like him. He likes the guys. But this is what I'm talking about. It goes a little deeper than just being like, one of the guys that, you'll grab a beer with after the game, or, hey, you come out after you strike out and they pat you on the back, get him next time there, Johnny. All right. There's a lot more to that, and that's what the Reds have been preaching. And I think this is at least a short-term hit to that. Now, I did point out that Noelvi Marte is not viewed as one of the clubhouse leaders like Luke Maley, right, Jonathan India, Jamer Candelario are. And so that's really important, though, that you have those still not very many veterans, but a few veterans there that the Reds are really leaning on to push that culture in the clubhouse. Those guys, this didn't happen to those guys. This happened to a young guy who's the least proven of all these core young position players. And so, short term, I don't think I know it doesn't look good. Is it long term going to impact them over the season in the clubhouse? Well, I mean, let's see. If they start struggling or have more injuries, then I think that's where you can start to point, like, okay, you let your team down, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in terms of the production, though, I mean, how big of a hit is this in terms of offensive production, defense production for this team?
Well, it's a big hit. And I know you guys talked to Charlie Goldsmith, and he and I have talked. We stay in touch as my coworker at the Inquirer, and he was on the ground out there in Goodyear now. And it's a big hit. I mean, this is a good player. This is a guy who I think the Reds quietly view as maybe he's the best of all the young players that they have, potentially long term now. Wow. Now we know Ellie De La Cruz when it comes to ability and tools and all that, as is today. No one really rivals him. But when you think about over the long course of a long career, Nolve Marte seems to kind of have the it factor, or at least you thought he did. And so, he's obviously been talked about as a potential rookie of the year. Obviously, that's now out of the picture. He's going to miss half the season. And so, I kind of said TBD, to be determined in my column, because you did pick up a veteran bat in Candelario, who in a small sample size has hit very well in Great American Ballpark. He's a solid player, can play first and third. The problem is where I think if you were to look at an opening day lineup, you're like, okay, these guys are the problem is going to be now you have to move parts around. And if somebody starts getting hurt, which is going to happen, someone's going to get hurt. That's when you start to point like, ooh, this is where you miss Marte. Yeah,
right.
But again, you only had a small sample size of Marte.
So, So you know what, Jason? We're talking to Jason Williams, and we do have to get out of here. We got Xavier basketball coming up. Give us your thumbnail sketch of what's going to happen in this game.
Well, I think Xavier. I said this back when they won the Crosstown Shootout, that I thought that they, I thought that by March Sean Miller would be able to have these guys roll, and they'll win today. It's never clicked for them, and it just didn't get rolling. But this is a game that I think they'll win, and maybe they win a game in the I think they'll have to play UConn after this. And
yeah, there's that.
So I think they win today, but they're an NIT type of team. Obviously at this point, it just didn't click for him. But Sean Miller is a fantastic coach, and don't expect Xavier to not be out of the tournament for long.
All right, buddy. Always a pleasure.
All right, man. See you guys.
See ya.
Jason, thanks, partner.
Our good friend Jason Williams. So we do have. Well, yesterday, we were at the tail end of that barn burner with the Bearcats. Let's see how the Muskies do today.
They've split with Butler this season, so let's get the rubber match here and advance in the tournament here. Let's go.
I'm sure Lance McAllister is torn.
Oh, I know.
It's a giant.
Because if he talks about one team, the other team's fan base, whatever.
Right.
It's all Cincinnati teams, man. Let's root for them. Let's go.
All right. With that, we will see you tomorrow, I guess, for 3 hours, unless something dramatic happens. But now it's traffic and weather. What is going on?
From the UC Health Traffic Center, UC Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, proud to be the official healthcare provider of the UC Bearcats. We've got a big problem with 75 southbound to 275 shut down. 3 lanes are taken up here with this accident. Traffic is being directed off at the westbound 275 ramp. It's a multiple vehicle crash, and we see on the cameras that we've got a semi in the median here and a number of vehicles still in the roadway. So just plan on delays. We've got about a 45-minute backup in the area, and it is building. So traffic directed off westbound 275. Take westbound 275 to 747 southbound to eastbound 275. Now, we do have Norwood lateral westbound before 75 with that accident cleared out of the way, so traffic is moving a bit better. Red Bank at Brotherton, we have a crash, and 75 northbound Mitchell to Paddock, about an 8-minute delay. I'm Rick Shrimp, News Radio 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored by Sky Roofing.
Hey, let's talk with Ron, a satisfied Sky Roofing customer.
Called the crew at Sky Roofing, and they came out and took a look at the roof. Came out, replaced my roof. I've never been happier.
Call Sky Roofing, 513-421-7663.
Fellas, if you've been feeling tired, grumpy, maybe noticed a lack of motivation and drive, have some weight gain, a loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked. It's just a simple blood test with their on-site lab, and you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office. It's concierge medicine for men. Their physicians specialize in treating low testosterone with customized treatments for each patient. Most health insurance is accepted for treatment, and they have affordable and convenient options for treatment, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments for established patients, and they ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now at Low T Center, it's only $25 to get your T-level tested with results back in about 25 minutes. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Governor DeWine wants us to remember him as a leader who created a bright future for Ohio's families, but look closer at the future he's creating.
Unsafe staffing levels in state agencies, prisons, and mental hospitals.
Low wages for our dedicated public employees.
Long wait times for essential services that Ohioans need.
Hoarding billions in a rainy day fund that could be spent to help Ohioans now.
Governor DeWine is failing Ohio.
Remind Governor DeWine his legacy will be how he treats us. It's time to give state employees what Ohioans need.
Paid for by SEIU District 1199.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Cindy Abrams is the real deal. Abrams is a former Cincinnati police officer now fighting for us in the State House. Abrams went to the border and created legislation to stop the flow of drugs into Ohio. Abrams voted to ban gender surgeries on kids and supported historic tax cuts for workers. Cindy Abrams is an America First conservative. That's why she's endorsed by the NRA, Ohio Fraternal Order of Police, and Senator J.D. Vance. Vote Cindy Abrams on March 19th.
Paid for by Abrams for Ohio.
I'm Tom Wong, a conservative Republican running for Congress, and I approve this message. The U.S. uses about 4 trillion sheets of toilet paper a year. The U.S. government spends about $6 trillion a year. We are literally spending dollar bills like sheets of toilet paper. Biden's inflation is killing the American dream. People cannot afford to buy a car, buy a house, or rent an apartment. Even a meal at a fast food restaurant is a near luxury now. I will address this out-of-control spending.
Vote Tom Wong for Congress on March 19th.
All rise. In a Massachusetts courtroom, the judge concluded that the defendant shredded evidence in the case. The defendant, Bernie Marino, who was sued for stealing his employees' pay. So before the trial, Marino shredded the evidence against him. Shadiness is a pattern with Marino, who quietly supported amnesty for millions of illegals, but now pretends otherwise. You can tell a lot about someone's character by what he does when no one's watching. Bernie Marino flunks that test. And Secretary of State Frank LaRose is no better. LaRose quietly spent your tax dollars to benefit himself politically. And LaRose changed Ohio's ballot language to affect the election results. It was a breach of public trust. Bernie Marino and Frank LaRose, if they're this sneaky and corrupt in Ohio, just imagine if they go to Washington. Buckeye Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. BuckeyesLead.org.
JeffWeilerHonda.com.
Nobody does chili cheese fries like Skyline Chili. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
This is Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Brakes for Less.
3 more teams will punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament tonight with conference finals coming up in the Patriot League, Southland, and Big Sky conferences. Xavier will try to make some noise in the Big East tournament starting today against Butler. UC will be upset-minded, too. They take on Kansas in the Big 12. And baseball now. The Cactus League season continues today. The Reds will visit the Giants in Scottsdale. Cincinnati sends Frankie Montas to the Hill. I'm Scott Davidson.
Brakes for Less is what they do. They know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. It doesn't matter what kind of car you got. Call 888-261-STOP. All they do are brakes for less.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
An app with close to 150 million U.S. users under pressure from lawmakers. With the 3:30 report, I'm Sean Gallagher, breaking now. The House today overwhelmingly passing a bill that would ban TikTok unless its China-based parent company divests within 6 months, as lawmakers say they're worried about national security, as the measure now goes to the Senate.
TikTok is mounting an aggressive lobbying effort. They are focusing on the Senate where this bill is now.
now, and they're bringing creators to Capitol Hill to try to speak to lawmakers and say that they do not want any action taken against this application.
ABC News' Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill. The final House vote, 352 to 62. Now the latest traffic and weather together, and an accident has been cleared northbound lateral westbound before I-75. Stop-and-go traffic 75 northbound between the Sharon Road and 275 exits. Also seen an accident with three lanes blocked, 75 southbound at the I-275 exit right now. Stop and go from Cincinnati Dayton Road. Also reports of an accident, Red Bank Expressway at Brotherton Court, and a disabled vehicle, Red Bank, at Duck Creek Road.
Now the latest forecast from the Train Heating and Cooling Weather Center on News Radio 700 WLW.
A gorgeous afternoon in store. Temperatures into the low 70s. Winds out of the west-southwest right around 10 miles per hour, and a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. A very nice mid-March day, and as we head on into the overnight tonight, we hold on to that warmth. A few more clouds overnight tonight. We drop down to 52 with winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour, and as we progress into your Thursday, a few more clouds and a lot more wind. Winds gusting to 30. We'll stay warm, 73, with an isolated storm chance. From your severe weather station, I'm 9 First Warning meteorologist Brandon Spinner, News Radio 700 WLW.
Sunny and 73 degrees. An Emerson College poll shows the majority of Republican voters in Ohio still undecided when it comes to who they will vote for in the U.S. Senate primary Tuesday. Undecided polling at 32%, with State Senator Matt Dillon leading among the three candidates at 26%, Bernie Moreno not far behind at 23%, and Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose only polling at 16%. Ohio's primary is March 19th. Cactus League action, Reds facing the Giants in Scottsdale this afternoon. The inside pitch about to get underway on Fox Sports 1360. First pitch 4:05. College basketball, Xavier taking on Butler in round one of the Big East tournament in New York. Pregame coming up next with tip-off at 4 from Madison Square Garden. Then later tonight, UC faces Kansas in the second round of the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, tipping around 9:30 here on 700 WLW. Final half hour trading on Wall Street. The Dow was up 9 points, but NASDAQ down 98, and the S&P down 14. Our next update is at halftime. I'm Sean Gallagher, News Radio 700 WLW.
News 24 hours a day. News Radio 700 WLW.
On the Xavier Sports Network, from Learfield, Xavier Basketball is on the air. Brought to you by TriHealth. TriHealth provides surprisingly human care that drives the best health outcomes. Be seen, be heard, be healed. Visit TriHealth.com. And by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the R&L Carriers pregame show, brought to you by R&L Carriers. Partner with a family-owned LTL provider at RLC.com. Now, here are Joe Sunderman and Byron Larkin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden in New York City. This afternoon in the Big East first round, the Musketeers will take on the Butler Bulldogs.
Each team at the beginning of the year separates the season into three parts: the non-conference, the conference, and postseason play. The goal is to win as many games as possible during those first two parts of the season to put yourself in a position to get an automatic or to get an at-large invitation to the NCAA tournament if you don't get the automatic bid. For this Xavier team, an at-large invitation isn't in the cards because of their below 500 record. So their backs are against the wall. The only way is to win the Big East tournament. Stranger things have happened. It's a tall task to win 4 games in 4 days, but you take them one at a time, you bring your best, and let the chips fall where they may.
As far as the seedings for this Big East tournament, the Musketeers are the number 9 seed. The Xavier Musketeers are 15 and 16 overall, 9 and 11 in Big East play. The number 8 seed, the Butler Bulldogs, they're 18 and 13 on the season. They're also 9 and 11 in Big East play. These two teams have played 2 times this year, both teams winning on their home court on January 16th at Cintas Center. Xavier 85, Butler 71. And then just a week ago, March 6th, Butler 72, Xavier 66. That game was played in Indianapolis.
Exactly 7 days ago, Joe. 2 different styles. Xavier scored 85 points in the first game, only 66 in the second. So Xavier definitely has to unlock their offense in this one if they want to advance, because Butler, Joe, coached by Thad Matta, he's one of the best coaches in the country. He has been for a very long time. The Butler team will be solid on the defensive end, and they're going to make you beat them, and Xavier's got to be ready for it.
This is the R+L Carriers pregame show, brought to you by R+L Carriers, partnered with a family-owned LTL provider at RLC.com. And you're listening to Xavier Basketball from Learfield on 700 WLW and the Varsity Network.
Joseph Toyota is a proud sponsor of Xavier Basketball. With 4 generations of Joseph supporting Xavier, we're not just sponsors, we're fans. Find yours online at 24/7 at josephtoyota.com. Go Muskies. Buy your car today the Joseph way. Online at josephtoyota.com and on location on Coleraine, just minutes off of Cross County or 30 seconds off of I-275. Joseph Toyota says go Muskies.
With the Kroger app, shopping online with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in-store. Same low prices, same personalized deals, same rewards on the same high-quality items like Honeycrisp apples and pasta sauce, with no hidden fees or markups. It's one small click for groceries, one big win for busy families everywhere. Start your cart today at Kroger.com. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Xavier fans, this is Joe Sunderman, voice of the Xavier Musketeers. Just like our Musketeers, our friends at CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting are always looking for new talent to add to their team. They even have a program specifically designed for recent graduates. If you'd like to work with a group of people on life-changing therapies to help patients around the world, CTI is the team for you. To learn more, visit ctifacts.com.
Are you a working adult looking to start or finish your bachelor's degree? Xavier University's Adult and Professional Education program is here for you. With customized, accelerated online degree programs, Xavier puts you in control of your education. Visit xavier.edu/apex to get started. That's xavier.edu/APEX. Gain more knowledge, develop more skills, and become more than you ever thought possible. Xavier University.
Come on over to Heartland.
Getting a mortgage? We take pride in providing the value and service you deserve in one of the most important transactions you'll ever have. Community banks have the most flexibility and the lowest rates. Now fact check that. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the Xavier Sports Network, this is Xavier Basketball from Learfield.
Do you worry about your basement leaking every time it rains? Well, get it fixed permanently. Hey, Gary Sullivan here. Call EverDry Waterproofing today and stop worrying about your basement and start using it. Call EverDry Waterproofing for a free basement inspection today.
Now you can terminate your loan or lease early regardless of make or model with the Loan and Lease Termination Program at Kelsey Chevrolet. Escape excessive mileage and remaining payments and get a new Chevrolet for as little as $0 down. Together, let's drive at kelseychev.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 24/7 comedy.
Men don't settle down. We surrender.
Women, we never express the emotions we're actually feeling, right? I'm fine means I'm about to stab you in the neck.
Clips from today's top comedians and the greatest of all time.
Donut hole. If you want a donut, have a donut. Why are you eating the hole?
When you need a laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
You can actually change the station.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
You're listening to News Radio 700, WLW.
Madison Square Garden in the first round of the Big East Tournament. The Xavier Musketeers taking on the Butler Bulldogs. Time now for the Pro Link staffing keys to the game.
Well, 3 keys, Joe. Number 1, you got to get out in transition, Joe. Xavier had 85 points with 35 fast break points in the victory in Game 1. In Game 2, they only scored 66 points with 11 fast break points in the loss. So you got to get out, play fast. Xavier must get out, play with pace. They're number 1 in the league. And fast break points, they must play to their strength. That is playing fast. Second, make some threes. Butler crowded the lane because Xavier played, in essence, with 2 made three-pointers in the loss in Indianapolis in Game 2. Expect the same from Butler. Xavier needs to make some shots to spread the defense. Namiksha, Usman, Green must be a threat, because if they're not, Butler simply will not guard them, and they'll double-team everybody else. And lastly, you got to take care of the basketball. Butler forced 15 turnovers and 7 steals for 12 of their 66 points in Game 2. Xavier must take care of the ball. No careless turnovers, especially when Posh Alexander is guarding the ball. Joe, he had 4 steals in the last game against the Musketeers in the loss. You got to protect it, especially Desmond Clyde when he's matched up. Desmond had 8 turnovers in that basketball game, and Posh is a former Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East when he was at St. John, so Xavier's got to be aware of him when trying to score.
These are the keys to the game provided by ProLink. ProLink is the key to your next job in healthcare, manufacturing, engineering, and more. Visit ProLinkWorks.com to apply today. This is the R&L Carriers pregame show. And, Byron, you talked before the broadcast about pace, and you've mentioned it and limited the turnovers. How does Xavier get this game speeded up? They couldn't do it in Indianapolis.
Well, Joe, it starts with taking care of the ball, number 1. Joe, if you remember in that last game 7 days ago in Indianapolis, we talked about turnovers. The first pass of the first possession, there was a turnover. That set the tone. Xavier's got to come out and be sharp, number 1. The other thing they have to do is they have to be sound defensively. You can't fast break, Joe, if you're taking the ball out of the net. So they have to take care of the ball, get stops, and try to play as fast as possible.
Coming up next, Byron, we'll talk with the head coach of the Xavier Musketeers, Sean Miller. This is the R&L Carriers pregame show. Xavier in Butler from New York City at Madison Square Garden. You're listening to Xavier Basketball from Learfield on 700 WLW and the Varsity Network.
Are there in sickness and in health. That's why we at TriHealth care to hear your whole story. By embracing your true needs and providing warm, personal support, we'll help you stay on top of your health so you can always feel and live your best. Come be treated in a way that feels surprisingly human. Be seen, be heard, be healed. Visit TriHealth.com.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota, like the family-size Highlander. Now through April 1st, get a new 24 Highlander with 4.75 APR financing, or 5.75 on an electrified Highlander hybrid, or get up to $1,000 APR cash on the new Grand Highlander, depending on model, when financed with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Get details at Toyota.com. Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places.
There are lots of ways to make Skyline part of your game plan. You can pregame with friends in 5 ways at your favorite Skyline, or carry out conies to crush during the game. And Skyline is the only place for post-game Cholitos and chili cheese fries. Football, basketball, baseball, or soccer. High school, college, or pro. Doesn't matter. Game time is always a good time for Skyline. So get your game face on and get your Skyline game plan together. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Does anyone really understand Medicare? It seems so complicated. I really don't know where to start.
Start by calling RetireMed, the local experts in Medicare and individual health plans. Our advisors offer personalized guidance and take the mystery out of Medicare, all at no cost or obligation. Choose RetireMed, the right plan for where you are, the right partner for where you want to go. Learn more at retiremed.com.
Come on over to Heartland.
Getting a mortgage? We take pride in providing the value and service you deserve in one of the most important transactions you'll ever have. Community banks have the most flexibility and the lowest rates. Now fact check that. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Fair banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Today's game is sponsored by Progressive. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average. Xavier Basketball is on the air on the Xavier Sports Network.
Family owned and operated, R&L Carriers prides itself on quality customer service. With a nationwide network of service centers, our team works for you and your business, guiding freight across the U.S. and Canada. Speak with a representative to learn more about the company's guaranteed expedited and liftgate services. Our experts will take the time to create a custom shipping solution to fit your individual needs. Connect with us at rlc.com. One call, one carrier. R&L Carriers.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
On the Xavier Sports Network from Learfield, Xavier Basketball is on the air. Brought to you by Skyline Chili. Skyline Conies and Ways are always a winner. Feeling good, it's Skyline time. And by SeatGeek, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Xavier Athletics. Welcome back to the R&L Carriers pregame show. Partner with a family-owned LTL provider at RLC.com. Now, here are Joe Sunderman and Byron Larkin.
Welcome back to the R&L Carriers Xavier pregame show. I'm Byron Larkin along with Xavier head coach Sean Miller. This afternoon in the first round of the Big East tournament, Xavier meets Butler. Coach, in the regular season final versus Marquette, I thought your team had some good moments through stretches of the game. What did you like about what your team did, even though you didn't get the victory?
Well, you're right, Byron. I thought we played a lot of energy, and I think at this time of year, there's really nothing more important than that. Just to make sure that, from the beginning of the game throughout, that you're playing together, playing fast, playing with a lot of defensive cohesiveness, energy, toughness, all the different things I think every coach wants their team to have. But as the season wears on you, sometimes that's not as easy maybe as it once was. I thought we really had great energy against Marquette. Look, at the end of the day, like, our offense was plenty good enough. It was actually, in the 20 games we played in the Big East, maybe our overall best offensive performance when you look statistically. We really hit every marker we set out for, and some of it is just simply we rode an incredible performance by Quincy. I mean, what he did throughout the game, but especially in the second half. I mean, you scored 34 points on the efficiency that he had against Marquette. That's one heck of a performance. So we rode him, and, I hope that we can do it here in New York City as well.
The thing about postseason play is that everyone resets and starts from the same position. What's the proper mindset that needs to be conveyed to the team to be as successful as they can be moving forward?
I think first, the things that we do well, you have to do well in a conference tournament. It's not about reinventing ourselves. We have a lot of equity. I mean, you think about our practices and games, we've been at this for a really long time. So the things that we're good at, the things that have helped us win, we want to be at our best. And I think for us, being able to take care of the ball. When you look at our game at Hinkle Fieldhouse against Butler, Butler's not a team who tries to force a lot of turnovers, yet we cooperated. We had 15. We had 10 at the half. That's like 0 for 15 to start with. I also think, Byron, that in that game we took about 5 really bad shots. So a quick bad shot plus 15 turnovers, it's like you're starting the game 0 for 20 from the field on offense. And that's the hole that we dug here against Butler in this tournament. I think the number one stat for us is we have to take care of the ball. That's when we've been at our best this year, and we have to do it in today's game.
The Big East announced that 4 players earned postseason honors. Des Claude was the most improved player. Quincy Olivari made the all honorable mention and led the conference in scoring. And you got 2 freshmen making the all-rookie team.
We were thrilled with that. I mean, I think based on the parity of our league, where we finished, to get 4 people with postseason accolades is something that I think we're really proud of. In Dalen and Trey's case, I think some of it is you recognize how few freshmen played this season, Byron. I mean, it's just the things have changed since the time my plane landed here when I came from Arizona 2 years ago. It's a completely different game. When you think about how you're going to recruit, how you're going to build your team, very few freshmen can impact